Welcome back to episode 33 of Not Another Moto Pod, hosted by Sam Fury. This week we had an off week, obviously before the playoffs here. This week we're going to do an SMX preview for the 250 and 450 class. I will keep it brief. I know everybody and their mother is dropping their own media outlets SMX previews this week. So let's just run through the standings here. I'll say maybe if there's anybody in the LCQs that I think could be a factor, anybody way down in the points, and then ultimately who I believe will win these three SMX playoff rounds. Let's get into it. Starting with the players in the 250 class, first place we have Hayden Deegan, then Joe Shimoda and Garrett Marchbanks, top three. Tom Vial, Seth Hamaker, Levi Kitchen, Juju Bomer, Max Voland, Jordan Smith, Michael Mosman, who I don't believe will be racing, Nate Thrasher, Chance Hymas, who will not be racing, McCall Harrop, who will not be racing, Austin Faulkner 14th, Ryder DeFrancisco, Drew Adams, Cole Davies, Parker Ross, Dylan Schwartz, and then RJ Hampshire will be rounding out the top 20. Obviously will not be racing in the 250 class in SMX. Jumping into the LCQ / wildcard race, we have Lux Turner, Ty Masterpool, Cullen Park, Cody Schock, who will be racing 450s, Jalik Swoll, who will not be racing. He's injured. 26th, Avery Long, 27th, Dax Bennick, Casey Cochran, who I believe is injured, won't be racing either. Henry Miller, 29th, and Max Anstey, 30th. So we do have a lot of folks in this LCQ class who will probably make it through to the motos in the 250 class. Ultimately, what will we expect other than Hayden Deegan to go win these? He looked so good in the SMX playoffs last year. He really got his starts together in most of these playoffs. I believe the last round was the only one that he struggled. He had already ultimately wrapped things up after his finish in Moto 1, but he was just unbelievable last year in these SMX rounds. I believe these are where he really shines. Unfortunately for him, Joe Shimoda also does really well in these. Joe Shimoda has been on a hot streak lately. I would be very interested to see if Joe Shimoda is able to keep up the fight that he gave to Deegan here in the MX rounds. Obviously, we have seen time and time again that Deegan is faster on all-out speed, but be very interested to see Shimoda. Garrett Marchbanks, third place, I do not believe is truly a player to win, but he definitely could shake things up on the podium a couple rounds. Tom Vial, we saw him struggle at the last round, though albeit he was very good at the 2 rounds before that. I don't see Vial winning, being a threat to win here. Seth Hamaker in 5th place, I think, could shake things up. Was obviously very good in Supercross this season. Had a bit of an up and down outdoor season, missed a few rounds, but ultimately finishes in 5th place there. So only 8 points behind Hayden Deegan going in on the overall points. And obviously with the double and triple points that we have at the second and third rounds, kind of make up for that. Anywhere within 10 to 15 points going in, I believe everyone there should have a shot. Levi Kitchen, ultimately the way he rode most of the season in outdoors, I don't think he's going to be consistent enough in these to be a player for the win, though he could be on the podium at a couple rounds. Juju Bomer, kind of the same, obviously was much better in Supercross than outdoors, but just really not liking what I saw lately from Juju Bomer. Had a good race at the penultimate round, but was not good there at the finale, and was not good for most of outdoors, truthfully. Max Voland at 8. I don't expect things from him. Jordan Smith, maybe, though he did make a lot of his ground up in Supercross in the whoops, and obviously SMX does not have whoops. Mosman hurt, not racing. Nate Thrasher, you never know with Nate, but obviously I don't think he will be consistent enough to be a player here. Again, Hymas and Harp are hurt. Austin Faulkner, just haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe he would be up there here. Same with Ryder D. Drew Adams could be interesting. We didn't get to see much of him in Supercross, though he is ultimately 19 points back going into round 1. And I don't think that we've seen that he can run podium speed yet. Cole Davies for me at 17th would be our biggest player and our biggest question mark. We know that he can get the starts. We know that he now, we've seen it in Supercross, but seeing it, him ultimately winning that moto there a few weeks ago, we see how good he can be when he does get a start, and we know how good his starts were in Supercross. So unfortunately, he's going to go in 20 points behind, but if he can go and get 6 starts, I really think he could finish maybe second or third in this class, behind maybe Deegan and Shimoda. I think he could battle with Shimoda more than maybe we expect. Shimoda obviously does have the advantage going in with 22 points and Cole Davies only going in with 5. So we'll see how that plays out, but I'm very interested to see how Davies fits into this rotation. Parker Ross in 18th. I don't expect much from him outside of maybe some top 10s. Same from Dylan Schwartz. Again, RJ Hampshire will not be racing. Looking at the LCQ, Lux Turner, Ty Masterpool, Cullen Park. Don't expect anything from these guys. Shock and Jalek Swoll will not be racing. Avery Long kind of fits in the same category as Lux Turner there. Dax Bennick, who knows with Dax? He's kind of been up and down. He does get a good start every now and then, but I just don't see anything like that happening. And obviously, Cochran and Anstey are out, and Henry Miller, who knows? At points, we've seen Henry Miller be good, but, in the top 15 is good for him, obviously not winning races. Ultimately, again, what I think we will see happen is Hayden Deegan have 4 to 5 really good motos, probably 4 wins at least in these motos, which out of 6 motos, that is going to put him obviously in the driver's seat there. I believe Hayden Deegan will win this and clinch his 250 career, with another championship. I do think Cole Davies fights his way into the battle, but I do believe that, being down 18 points going in from Shimoda will ultimately put him into 3rd place. I do believe Joe Shimoda probably finishes 2nd here. I'm really interested, again, to see where Seth Hamaker, Garrett Marchbanks, and Levi Kitchen end up. Ultimately, I think I would probably put Hamaker 4th, and then it's maybe a toss-up between Marchbanks and Kitchen, and then probably Vial. So yeah, that's what we think there. Moving on to the 450 class. First place, they talked about it a lot this summer, Justin Cooper. 2nd place, Jet Lawrence. 3rd, Malcolm Stewart. 4th, Cooper Webb. Hunter Lawrence. Chase Sexton. Eli Tomac. Aaron Plessinger. Justin Barsha. RJ Hampshire. Ken Roxon. Dylan Ferrandis. 13th, Jorge Prado. Joey Savacci, who I believe will be back. Jason Anderson, who will be out in 15th. Shane McElrath, Colt Nichols, Valentin Guillaude, Justin Hill, and Mitchell Harrison in 20th, going over to the LCQ wildcard. Cody Schock, who I don't believe will have an issue qualifying. Harry Kulas, Mitchell Oldenburg, Benny Bloss, Benoit Pacharel, Lorenzo Lacurcio, Kyle Chisholm, 27th, Grant Harlan, Christian Craig, 29th, who I do not believe will be racing, and Freddie Noren in 30th, who we're unsure about at this point either. I do believe we probably see Cody Schock get in pretty easily. With Anderson out, I do believe we will be carrying at least 5 over from the... Is it 5 or 2? Sorry, I don't know if we run 20 or 22... 22 or 24 in the final race here in the playoffs. I believe it is 22. So I don't think an issue with Cody Schock qualifying, and then maybe Mitchell Oldenburg if he's healthy. I'm not sure really his status lately, but obviously good at Supercross there. Back to, who do we think will win? Obviously, Jet Lawrence has to be the favorite, the all-out favorite here, especially down only 3 going into the SMX first round. We have not seen him in first place in these last 2 years, and he has come from behind to win the championship. Obviously, his rookie year, he started in the 250 class and only had his outdoor points. And then last year, missed a few rounds of outdoors, and I believe he was 3rd or 4th going into this. So Jet Lawrence, again, you've got to be your favorite. I would also put Chase Sexton and Hunter Lawrence probably tied for 2nd. We've seen how good they can be in this discipline. They have both won races in this discipline. Eli Tomac as well has got to be in there for me. A player for me, honestly, that maybe we don't think about, and he is 13 points back, would be RJ Hampshire. We know how good RJ has been on the 450. We know how good he's been lately. And I do believe that he wants to go out and prove something. RJ Hampshire is probably going to be right up there with Justin Cooper for me. So ultimately, if I had to take a stab at it, I would say Jet Lawrence is probably going to win yet another SMX championship. Boring, I know, but he's the best rider on the planet, bar none, at this point in time. 2nd place would probably be a battle to me between Chase Sexton and Hunter Lawrence. Ultimately, I think if Chase comes in healthy, he seems determined to go after this championship this year. I do believe Chase Sexton can finish in a close 2nd place to Jet Lawrence this year. I just believe he's probably flat out faster than Hunter Lawrence. Saying that, Hunter Lawrence is a better consistent starter and will put himself in very good position. And so I do believe Hunter Lawrence will finish in third ultimately. With Eli Tomac, I just don't see the consistency lately that I would expect from him to see him battle with these top three. I think I may put him more in the category with Justin Cooper and RJ Hampshire. In that category, Justin Cooper obviously comes in as the top seed, but has raced all year. He's got to be tired. He has got to be, just reeling at this point. He is riding well lately, but did have a bit of a lull there in the middle of the motocross season. So I'm just interested to see what we get from Cooper, but I don't know that we get 6 consistent rounds. Whereas from Eli Tomac and RJ Hampshire, maybe we get maybe a little bit more consistency or just a little closer to the front time after time. Eli Tomac is just that good, regardless of how inconsistent he has been riding lately. And RJ Hampshire has been hot lately and to me has something to prove. And obviously we know how good he is in Supercross. We did see him ride very well last year on the 450 in Daytona, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly. He raced the 450 last year or the year before, like I said, in Supercross and rode very well. And so I do expect to see RJ Hampshire look good in Supercross aboard that 450. So I believe that battle there for fourth place is probably between J. Coop, Tomac, and Hampshire. Ultimately, I think if I had to, I would give it to Hampshire right now. I think Tomac will finish fifth, and I do believe Justin Cooper would round that out there. Other guys that maybe we didn't mention there, Plessinger, I just don't think he's going to come back as healthy as we expect. Roczen so far behind. I don't think he's going to come in as a super player in this class. Everybody else I just don't see up there with the rest of the guys. I think that's it for this week. Going into Charlotte, the first round next weekend, look for a really exciting race. I do think maybe something that could affect some of these results would be weather, possibly. I know that Charlotte is outdoors, St. Louis is in a dome, so no weather there, and then Vegas, of course, is on the drag strip. So be very interested to see if that plays out. I don't anticipate that, but if there is some weather, maybe Chase Sexton could be a player to go out and win this thing. I'd be really excited to see Chase get back up there, prove that he is one of the guys. We see it time and time again. He is probably one of the only people on earth that could beat Jet Lawrence straight up, and so that makes things interesting, right? So really interested to see these next few weeks and see if we do see our continued SMX dominance there from our reigning champions, 2-time reigning champions actually, Hayden Deegan and Jet Lawrence. That is all we've got for this week. Quick preview show, like I said. If you want to follow us, Twitter, X, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube at Not Another Moto Pod. Thanks for listening.